Hey everyone, this is Curtis Roddy here. I just wanted to take a second to thank you for signing up for a free sample. And really in this video, it's just going to be an overview of the reports that you've got in this email, how to read them, and then where you can go to get some more resources. So start by going over the samples that you've got. So in your email, you got 4 samples. One's the pre-foreclosure list, and then you got the post-bankruptcy alert list, the struck-off list, and the unsold properties list. So we'll start by going over the pre-foreclosure list. This is a pre-foreclosure list for Ellis County, actually for this month. And so just quick overview, all of the fields have a header. So if you ever are confused about what you're looking at, just look at this header up at the top on all of our reports and you can get a better idea of what you're looking at. So if we start in the first column, this ID is our Roddy ID. It's really important to take note of that because our FLS employees or team members at the foreclosure auction will actually be yelling that number out. So if you have a question and you're at the auction, the best way to quickly find the property or tell our auction team members what property you're looking for is to tell them what the ID you're looking at. Then we've got some basic address information. So this is just going to be the street number, street name, city, zip code. And then we've got the assessed value that comes from the county appraiser's website. The next column is the class, and then we also have the year of construction, and if it's a multifamily or a commercial unit, we'll also have the number of units. So here we've got, this is resi, so residential, that's going to be our most common class, but you'll also see like APT, COMM, land, so APT would be apartments, land is obviously land, we got MOB is mobile. If you ever have any questions about what these mean, send us a chat. Then we've also got the legal description and some other identifiers for the property. Now the legal description is really important because a lot of times trustees will only read that and the mortgagor's name. They won't actually read the address. So knowing what you're looking at is extremely important. You'll also want to when you're doing your research, you'll want to verify that this matches what the property that you're researching. So we get the legal description straight from the deed of trust and we verify that it matches the foreclosure posting. Usually if it doesn't, we'll put something in the comments below that is a disclaimer to research that a little bit more. In the next column, we've got the mortgagor, mortgagee, and trustee. So that's going to be just what it is. The person who took out the loan, who loaned the loan, and then the person who'll be auctioning. Then we've got the date the loan was taken out, type, so this is a home equity lien, the original balance of the loan. And then if we have an expiration date, we'll also put it here. You'll see the expiration dates right here on this one, but on the home equity lien, there was actually no expiration date given in the deed of trust. If we do have the expiration date, we'll have an estimated unpaid balance. And then this is just some equity information. This is estimated equity based off of the value that the county gave us. So that's a quick overview of the pre-foreclosure report. For a more in-depth overview on how to download or manipulate the data, I'd really suggest going to our YouTube page and watching one of the videos on how we actually use this list to do our own real estate investing. Then we'll go to the post-bankruptcy alert list. The post-bankruptcy alert lists are properties that have been in or protected by bankruptcy, and then there's been a motion by either the court or the debtor to have that property taken out of bankruptcy and lose the bankruptcy protection. So a lot of times when we see this, it's a great indicator that within the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to see it posted for foreclosure. So as an investor, this is a great list to get a head start on foreclosure research or to try to buy a property before the foreclosure auction or before it actually gets posted. So this gives you more time for either conventional financing or hard money loan, or to actually just get the property bought before other investors might see it on the foreclosure list. So very similar to the pre-foreclosure list, we have a Roddy ID. This is going to be the debtor's name and then the address of the asset that is coming out of the bankruptcy. So just a little bit more basic than what we had on the other list, but we've got the address, city, zip code, and the type. So these are all going to be residential units. We do put non-residential, so if there's a commercial building, it will be on here, but typically what we see is residential or land, but we wouldn't put things on here like a car or something that doesn't involve real estate. So we've got the type, and we've also got the square footage if that's available, the year it was built, the tax assessed value. So again, like the pre-foreclosure list, this comes from the tax assessor's website. Then the date that the asset was originally purchased. Then we have when the motion was filed. and what type. And then we also have the bankruptcy type. So again, similar to the pre-foreclosure list, we have a really in-depth video on the post-bankruptcy alert list. And that's on our Facebook page. It was one of the Facebook Lives we did. We spent an hour dissecting this and talking about the different ways to use this list. The third list is going to be our struck off list. So this is going to be the results of the auction. So this are all the properties that were posted for auction and then they actually showed up to auction. So a lot of times a property will be posted, but it won't show up to the auction. The properties that are on a struck off list are going to be properties that actually did show up to the auction. So in this case, we've got 13 properties in Denton County showed up to the auction for the July auction. We've got basic information, the address, class, year of construction, the loan type, the lender, and then here's the interesting part. Let's say if it went back to a third party or if the lender bought it. So if an investor or somebody bought the property at the auction, we put third. If it showed up to auction and didn't actually sell to an investor or a purchaser, then we put L, which means it went back to the bank. This is the assessed value that we had, the unpaid balance that we estimated, and then we've got what the opening bid was on that property. So this opening bid was $386,000. The closing bid amount was $386,801. So it looks like just one person bid on this, and that's what it sold for. You'll see that here all over the place. So this one opened for $100. It sold for $222,000. So all of these are similar to that. And finally, we've got the unsold list. That's essentially the inverse of the struck off list. These are going to be all the properties that were posted for foreclosure and didn't show up to auction. So a lot of times properties will be posted 3 or 4 times before they actually show up to auction. The properties on this list are going to be those. People will use this they'll know that, hey, this property is still probably available and on the market or available for an investor. So somebody will use this to do that or to know to keep pursuing that lead for future auctions. So that's a quick overview, a little bit longer than we hoped, but gives you a quick overview of how to use the different samples. And then most importantly, if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call or send us an email. We'd be happy to help you.